So that's it, folks. That is the Lake Oroville spillway. And that's what 35,000 cubic feet of water coming over the spillway looks like. And believe it or not, that is just a fraction of what came down in 1997. Back then, it was over 100,000 cubic feet per second. That raging torrent is intentional. The Department of Water Resources continues to release water out of Lake Oroville, despite massive damage being caused by erosion.
I guess it's sort of a triage situation. They know it's causing damage, but it's not beyond what they deem as being safe.
Eric C., spokesperson for DWR, says a hole in the spillway, estimated to be at least 200 feet long and 30 feet deep, is not a cause for alarm.
It's like getting a dent in your car. That doesn't mean the car doesn't run. It may not look very nice.
But it is an issue they're working on with urgency. Record rain continues to pour, sending water into Lake Oroville at a rate of 118,000 cubic feet per second. That's more water going into the lake than being sent out, so they need to keep releases going. So an incident command post has been set up at DWR headquarters in Butte County.
They're doing a lot of work to determine the next steps and processes for the actual dam situation.
Ron Quigley, a deputy administrator with the Governor's Office of Emergency Services, is here with several other Cal OES representatives, all on hand to monitor the situation, coordinate communication, and offer assistance when needed.
It's always good to be face-to-face and be a body in the room to coordinate and support.
Oroville Dam opened in 1968, creating the reservoir and using its water to generate power. DWR says it was designed with two spillways, this one and another emergency spillway you can't see. It was also designed to handle water coming over the top of the lake. But for now, the spillway is doing its job, although the hole beneath that flow is sending water over the edge and taking much of the surrounding terrain with it. At least one media outlet erroneously reported the spillway had completely collapsed. That's a rumor DWR and every emergency responder is dispelling.
We have dam safety engineers up there, we have geologists, we have spillway design engineers. They're looking at it right now and constantly monitoring it and watching the erosion.
So there you have it. You're looking at it, folks. The Lake Oroville spillway has not had a catastrophic failure. So if you happen to get one of those messages coming over your phone, whether it be through social media or anything, it's a rumor. Has not happened. You can see it right there. I'm Sean Boyd out here at Lake Oroville for Cal OES News.
Keep coming towards us. Keep coming to the next overpass and then zoom out some. Right in there.
The hole is huge.
What you see today may not be there tomorrow.
And it's only getting bigger.
We wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this wet season, much of the lower portion of the spillway has been eroded away.
The spillway, where reservoir water is released during rain events, is no longer a smooth track.
Water is a very powerful force.
The giant hole opened up yesterday. The floodgates were closed. Today, a test run to ease pressure on the dam. 20,000 cubic feet per second ripped the hole apart even more. Water blasting cement into the air. A portion of the side guard is now gone. Earth torn away as the brown water crashed towards the river below. And when the gates closed, a larger hole was revealed. Tense moments and concern above the dam and below the spillway could lead to a more serious situation with the dam itself. Officials, though, quickly calming those fears.
We do not believe that there's an imminent danger to the dam.
The spillway problem persists, and the water, it must go somewhere.
We still have some room to absorb the water coming in. Long term, yeah, we're going to have to move water out of the lake.
the water level at Oroville continues to rise. It was at about 856 feet when the spillway damage was discovered. Now, the latest reading shows that level near 873 feet. Officials are doing everything they can to prevent it from getting to 901 feet, and that's when water would spill uncontrolled from that.
And there are a number of levee breaks along the Cosumnes River at this hour, and a number of homes and streets are flooding, even trapping some people in some areas.
Firefighters, friends and neighbors coming together in a sandbag brigade to help keep even more runoff out of this already flooded home. But as water from this swollen Cosumnes River started overflowing its banks, the pressure was too much and the levee gave way. Earlier, Sacramento County Office of Emergency Services warned residents to be prepared, and as expected, the levees started to crumble.
It is getting worse, unfortunately. Our levee systems, they were doing their best, but now we are seeing breaches.
The rising water not only affecting homes and yards, but even livestock were forced to find higher ground. For many who've been around for decades, they know the river's power, but we're banking the levees would hold.
We're hoping that the amount of water that is escaping will go into the farmlands, but we're finding that there are some situations where homes may be possibly impacted by this.
Officials say it's a waiting game to see just how much water will flow and where.
We knew the water was coming and that it was going to end up here. Just where it actually goes and who it floods first and most severe is kind of the unexpected to us.
Imagine you're driving on Highway 50 and you run into this, a massive mudslide blocking the road. We have dozens of boulders, large rocks that have come all the way across the highway. Of course, we have lots of trees now down. The tree we see here was sitting 100 feet higher up. It came down in one piece slid to block the road. Now, the contractors tell me we're looking at 4,000 yards of debris. All of this they have to clean up now, but we did actually find out one car got caught in this. That red car over there was a couple with their dog heading to Tahoe. This caught them by surprise. Luckily, all of them are okay. Now, as far as the cleanup, we've seen the first equipment arrive to tackle this mess. They say it's going to take 24 to 36 hours at best to get this entire highway cleaned.
Over Oroville Dam, be aware there are helicopters operating 1,500 feet and below. No, I'm at 2,200. There are other helicopters at 1,500 laying electrical wire down there. Airplane was down there right where they're laying the power line. There. Water would come down all of that. Should the
It's 4:45. Welcome back. Developing overnight, authorities in California are hoping to avoid a crisis at the nation's tallest dam. Nearly 200,000 people were told to evacuate after they were told the Oroville Dam was spilling over. Flooding and erosion are the main concerns.
If that is not addressed and we don't take care of that and mitigate it properly, essentially what we're looking at is approximately a 30-foot wall of water that would be coming out of the lake. Not the lake draining, but a 30-foot wall of water.
Officials say they'll try to plug a hole in the emergency spillway with rocks. Helicopters will drop the rocks into a crevice on top of the erosion.
So we will keep an eye on this tallest dam in the country and its travails through tonight and into the weekend. But I feel like that is not just a story, it's a little bit of a news help. I feel like that lesson in watching this story about that dam in California, that lesson about perspective, about appreciating the full magnificent size of this story, I feel like that principle is also at work in what is the biggest politics news of the day. And we've got that story broken down into absolutely enormous bits. Next. Stay with us.